looking at Glencoe Course 2 Math, Lesson 8-4 on finding the volume of prisms. So, we actually know of a lot of prisms that exist, but we call them different things. Put it underneath the seat for right now. So, for example, a box is a rectangular prism. Alright? A cylinder is actually a prism with a round base. Packaging. Most packaging for things like, for food and things like that, most of that is a prism. Okay? So, we have to find the volume of those objects. And the volume is the amount of stuff that we can fit inside that space. Okay? So let's say that I had a friend and they were going to be turning 30, and for their 30th birthday I was going to give them a glitter bomb. Okay? A glitter bomb. So they open it up and glitter shoots out everywhere. Okay? Now, that would be childish, so that's why I said let's say, and I'm not going to actually do it. Okay? And let's say that the box that I have has dimensions of 5 inches by 6 inches, and it is 7 inches tall. The first question that I have, when I find the volume of this box, is this. What is the shape of the base of my box? It's a rectangle. It's a rectangle. So what type of prism do we have? It's a rectangular prism because my base is a rectangle. We can use the formula, the volume is equal to the area of the base times the height of my prism to find the volume of any object that is a prism. Okay? Doesn't matter. We could have a star as the base. We could have a heart as the base. We could have a circle, a rectangle, a triangle, a trapezoid, a kite, a diamond. We could have, it could be calculator shaped. Okay? We can find the volume of any prism by finding the area of the base and multiplying by the height of that prism. Okay? So, you guys told me that my base was a rectangle. What is the formula for the area of a rectangle? What's the formula for the area of a rectangle? Length times width. So that means that the volume of my rectangular prism, or this box, is going to be length times the width times the height. Does that look familiar?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. In the past, you guys have had to find the volume of cubes and rectangular prisms, right? But they just started here, because everything that you worked with had a rectangular base. We're changing it just slightly because our base can be different shapes. Does everybody understand that?
Sure.
What's your question?
It's like kind of like it's something without. Never mind.
Whoa. There is. I said there's somebody in the room.
Okay. They're good now. We're good. Okay. So, what dimension that we're given represents the length of my base? We can use a 6. What dimension represents the width of my base? The 5. Okay, where did you get 10 from? Alright, so we're using this image right here, the one that's up on the board. Okay? So our width would be 5. What is the height of my prism? 7. So what is 6 times 5?
30.
30. What's 3 times 7?
21.
21. And guess what? I can add a 0 to the end of it because we multiplied by 30. So my number answer here is 210. But I need to know 210 what?
Inches square.
No.
So we need the inches.
Yeah, inches squared.
But it's not squared. Cubed.
Rectangle.
So if this... Hold on. Because this 6 isn't just a 6, it's 6 inches. And this 5 isn't just a 5, it's 5 inches. And this 7 isn't just a 7, it's 7 inches. So if I have inches times inches times inches, that means that I have that dimension 3 times. So the exponent needs to be a 3. And we call that cubed. Okay? So, excuse me. We could convert the inches into yards or into miles or into feet or any other unit that we wanted. But we would want to do that here, not here. Okay? Because when we're talking about inches cubed, there's 12 inches in 1 foot. Okay? Or 36 inches in a yard. To go from inches to yards, hold on. To go from inches to yards, we're still talking about one dimension. We're talking about a distance. If we were going to go from inches cubed, we'd have to convert that to yards cubed or feet cubed, which makes things a lot more complex. Okay? So we're going to keep our units the same as what we start with. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any other questions about that? Please stop with the ruler. Thank you.
What y'all throwing this stuff at me?
Gentlemen, just stop.
I just saw it.
Are there any questions about how we found the volume of a rectangular prism? What's your question?
So, we just multiply all of them. So, 6 times, we multiply that. And then we multiply that and times that other.
Correct. So, a lot of times we hear that when we are working with a cube, which is a rectangular prism, you just multiply all the numbers together. Okay. Technically that's true, but that's not how we want to say what we're doing. Okay, we want to elevate our language, we want to elevate our vocabulary. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay. Let's look at finding the volume then of this triangular prism. Why am I calling this a triangular prism? Why am I calling this shape here? Why am I calling that object a triangular prism?
Because it's a prism. It has triangle sides. Faces.
Okay.
Triangular faces.
So, it's because our base is a triangle. Alright? It's because our base is a triangle. So, we're going to start out with our same volume formula, where the volume is equal to the area of the base times the height. And I'm going to make the height a capital letter H this time for a specific reason.
Because H stands for height.
Okay, so H stands for height. What formula do we use to find the area of a triangle? Yes, sir?
Length times width.
Not.
Height. No, height. No.
Length times
Length
height.
times height.
Times width.
Times width.
Not-
Length times height. Or,
Okay, so the height is there, but I don't like the word length.
oh.
Why?
Width times
Few words.
It starts with a. The word I'm looking for starts with the letter B.
Base.
The base. Okay. So we have. Hold on. Hold on. Stop. Stop. We have a base times the height, which will multiply by the height of my prism, which is the capital H. But there's something I'm missing. If I have a rectangle, okay, and I cut it to form two triangles.
But you gotta double the size.
If I want just one of these triangles, how much of that rectangle am I looking at?
Half.
A half. So guess what I'm going to multiply this all by?
1, 2. Half.
A half. Okay? So our volume, the formula for the area of a triangle is half the base times the height. Okay? Alright. Which dimension from my image would be the base of my triangle? Which dimension, so which number from my picture represents the base of my triangle? Not the 13. I disagree. So the base is a location, or the base is the edge that the height runs into. Okay, so if I have the height drawn here for my triangle, what dimension does that run into?
17.
No.
Kidding.
What's that dimension? The 22. So the dimension that represents the base of my triangle is 22 centimeters. Okay. What is the height of my triangle? Need the height of my triangle.
Oh.
17.
17. So if I look at my, here's my triangle, all right? The height is represented by that dotted line because that's not an edge, but it's a dimension that we need, okay? So my height here has an arrow that says 17. So that means that the height of my triangle is 17 centimeters, all right? The base is the edge, or the part of the triangle that the height runs into. The height's running into this side here that says 22. So that means that the base of my triangle is 22 centimeters.
Got a width big here.
You got a nice